Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Terrifying Tuesday. Yes, folks, it is already Tuesday. First and foremost, I do hope each and every one of you are having a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk. On top of that, because life really is too short as is, please do like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing each and every one of you every Monday through Friday, permitting my schedule, and then, of course, holidays. And then always do me a huge favor and check out the description box for more information on your daily film, such as your brief synopsis, your starring cast, director, runtime of the cut I am watching, MPAA rating, if there is one that exists, which, let's face it, folks, I wouldn't really look for an MPAA rating with a lot of my films that I happen to review, because most of them are 100% uncut, unfiltered. And let's just face it, the MPAA will not touch a lot of the stuff that I happen to review. If they did, it would be completely censored to crap, and there would be nothing left to it. And then what else do I put in that description box? I put some trivia in there if there's anything worthwhile of mentioning, and then either a link for a trailer or a scene from the movie itself. So I put a little bit of extra stuff in there for you guys to check it out, just so you can get a bigger taste of what it is that I'm blabbering on about for the day, to see if you would like to track down a copy and either stream it, buy it, watch it some way, shape, or form. I don't care how, just as long as you check it out. It is definitely, today's is definitely a rough watch. And it's in a good way, though. This one came out back in 2012, and this is none other than James Cullen Bressack's Hate Crime. Wow. Before I get on to the movie, I do want to tell you about this here release. This is the Unearthed DVD release. I don't think this one has a Blu-ray release at all. To be quite honest, I think it fits better on a DVD format. It would even work on a VHS format, because it is one of those found footage type movies, which I usually am not a fan of at all. I hate found footage, but this is one I actually do like and recommend, especially for somebody that wants to see something that is really just grotesque and pushes the boundaries beyond all means. This is definitely one for you. But like I said, this is from Unearthed Films. It is a standard issue press DVD. There is zero reversible artwork on this one, which, honestly, they usually don't have reversibles for Unearthed, which I'm okay with, Sometimes I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a choice on what to select for it. But that's okay. And then as far as what we have for special features on here, there is a behind-the-scenes feature which runs at about 10-11 minutes long, which is kind of an interesting thing. It goes over the early stages of this film, as far as first takes, practice runs, dry runs through the entire script, through the entire film. It goes a little more in depth on that. And then there is also a commentary track on there, which I did not check out. Eventually, when I go to finally rewatch this again, because let's just face it, folks, if you've seen this one, it's not one you can watch on a regular basis. It's one that I watched 2 years ago, and this is my first time rewatching it. So I've seen it twice now, and I'll watch it probably in another year or two, and then I'll check out the commentary track. So I don't know too much as far as what's on there for that. And then there's some trailers in there. There was one for, of course, one for Hate Crime, one for Where the Dead Go to Die, Scarlet Worm, and then the Vomit Gore trilogy. So just a couple of trailers in there as well. I didn't check those out because Unearthed is notorious for having glitchy trailers, and honestly, I have each and every one of those movies, and I don't need to really check out the trailers because I have them. Anyways, now that I got all of that out of the way, let's go on to what the film of the day is actually about. about? It is about this Jewish family that just recently moves into this brand new neighborhood. They are having a good family day when it comes to what they're doing. They are celebrating the youngest son's birthday. I forget exactly how old he is, but they are recording it on a camcorder type thing on a digital camera, and they are suddenly interrupted during this celebration, this birthday, and they are met with 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 is a trio, obviously, of neo-Nazis, and they decide they're going to ruin the evening, and do all kinds of debaucherous, notorious, like nasty, infamous type stuff to these people. It's really messed up, I'm not gonna lie. They end up torturing them throughout the entire night. They end up killing the birthday boy. They kill him on his birthday, and I think he was probably like 12, 11, 10 to, or not 10, 11 to 13-ish. I would say probably 12. But either way, it was his birthday. They kill him. They whack him. He's a very first victim of the entire film whatsoever. And then they move on to proceed to do some more torture on the entire family, such as they burn a swastika on the grown son's, on the older son's face, and then he gets it really bad. Like, they do that to him. They make him have sex with his own mother, which they have her tied down to a pool table, strapped down to a pool table with bent over, like, and with her legs kind of openish, so that number 3, who is a giant monster of a man, played by what is his name, Ian Roberts, who is a former Aussie rugby player. Well, he is a massive mountain of a man, but number 3 decides he's going to have a little fun with the mom first, and he rapes the shit out of her. And then they move on to make the son rape or have sex with the mother. Very disturbing, sick ordeal. It's one of those things that only a really depraved mind would make somebody do. They eventually, what happens is they kill the mother, they shoot her in the head, and then they have a big ordeal where they lose the dad at some point towards the end. But that's like the smallest thing of their worries as far as 1, 2, and 3 go. At one point, after they kill the wife, they get one decides he's going to take the daughter of the family upstairs into the bathroom, and he's going to get touchy with her, big time rapey vibes. And he's oh, it's okay, baby, it's okay, I don't have any bullets in my gun, and he takes out his gun and shows there's no bullets in it, and stuff like that. And he pushes the boundary to basically make things even more grotesque out of these people. But he is up there, and he is distracted by the sound of the smoke alarm, and they come downstairs, and number 3 has stuck the youngest son in the I believe it was the youngest son, or the head of the oldest child. Either way, he stuck them in the oven, and they were burning away, and that was what was making the smoke alarm go off. So pretty messed up stuff. So they're there to they mean business. Like, they're not joking around whatsoever. As far as what kind of people they are, like I said, they're neo-Nazis. They are strung out on meth, so they are very irrational, very incoherent in the way they work as people, because they're a trio, but they don't work very well together. Both 1 and 3 are brothers, and number 2 is just a close friend. But it shows how bumbling they are at one point when they start to lose control, because number 1 decides after all this is done he's going to go back upstairs and get rapey with the daughter yet again. He gets up there and he is stabbed to death by her. She quickly runs out and hides in her bedroom. 2 comes up and finds out what's going on, tells 3 to come up. 3 comes out and freaks the hell out. Like, he freaks out to the beyond the degree to where he looks like a giant coward. Because, like I said, this is the guy that was a mountain of a man, and he is a very intense character. Like, he's the one that does a lot of the the bad shit to these people. Like, he throws them around, beats the hell out of them, shoots people. I think number 1 shot the youngest son, and number 2 shot the mom. But either way, it shows how easily they fall apart once number 1 is killed, and then eventually they go back downstairs because they're trying to find both the dad and the daughter. They find out that the daughter is in her bedroom. She is locked in there and barricaded herself in. They go in there to get her, and she has climbed out of the window and is running along in the woods down below. They happen to have a gun with them, and they have bullets in their gun. And they decide they're going to shoot her, and in turn, yes, they do hit her. They go down to the woods and grab her, and then as they are bringing her back, they see the dad in the house, like, kind of scurrying around a little bit, and he has already gone and called the police, and they are on their way. Which in turn, the 2 and 3 go in there, and they eventually find the dad. They beat the hell out of him until he's no more. Which I did notice. It looked like there was a little blooper in that, because when the guy died, he was laying on his back, and then like a minute or 2 later, when they show when they're walking by him, he's laying on his belly. So I think that they totally messed that up right there. I didn't see 3 roll him over, because 3 is the one that goes haywire and kills him. Now that we got all of that out of the way, these guys decide that they're going to take the girl hostage. They get to this local convenience store. Number 3 tells himself he needs to go get a pack of cigarettes. Number 2 freaks out. No, you can't do that. They're getting out of the truck, and the girl happens to get out, run away with the camera, and get across the street. Why she grabbed the camera, I'm not 100%, other than to make the movie look a little more. I would have actually had number 2 carry the camera still at that point. But the camera happens to get left behind after they take the girl. And then it talks about how, like, a couple weeks later, they catch these guys because they have enough evidence on them. And they talked about who they are and the horrors that they put this family through. It's a very intense film. It gets a little grueling, a little tough. It's a little bit of a hard watch, not just because of the content, because it is a found footage, and they do a lot of shaky cam, so it gets a little nauseating in places. Now, as far as what I would say that, as far as ratings would go, on a technical side, this thing works together rather well for a found footage. It has a great direction. It never loses its momentum, really. It constantly keeps a good, steady stride. It's just weird. It's not weird. It's funny how quickly this trio fall apart once the leader is dead. It almost becomes hilarious to that degree because they are just so stupid. Especially number three, he starts crying like a little baby. But anyways, I would probably only give this thing a 3 out of 5 on a technical side. It could be much better. It could be much worse on that end. I think what brings it down for me a little bit on both in a technical side and an entertainment side. The actors, each and every one of the actors, not just one or two, not most of the cast, like 100% every actor in this movie, every character I found annoying at one point or another in the film. Even the family, I feel like I genuinely feel bad for them, and I think it's absolutely disgusting what happens. I just happen to have found them to be slightly obnoxious and annoying in certain places, especially when you're first meeting them, and then at the very end through the end credits, there's a whole sequence of the family recording each other, and they're on the way to the new house, and they're talking about just normal family things like video games and food and just brothers and sisters arguing and bickering, things of that nature. But it shows how they are real people, I guess. They doesn't show that they're flawless like what a lot of movies will do. Especially for well-to-do people in movies, they tend to make people with wealth or money a little more, I would say, normal. I don't know if I would say normal, but on a regular norm than somebody who is on a lower class like myself or anybody else that lives very meagerly. But anyways, the entertainment side, I'm going to probably give it a 3 as well. It could be much better on that end as well. The actors are what brings it down. The special effects work in it. It's not anything major. The swastika on number three's forearm, you can clearly tell it's been drawn on with like a Sharpie or some shit like that. The burn mark of the swastika on the oldest son's face looked a little wonky. But the mother, her beat up face and things of that nature worked, and it looked really good. All in all, though, yeah, I would say this is a 6 out of 10 kind of movie. It's a little better than average. It could be much better. That's my only thing. But do definitely give this one a try, especially if you want to get disgusted at how evil people can really be. Yeah. Debbie Downer movie, but it works. It's very good. Anyways, I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going with a slasher from the 80s. This one is one that isn't really talked about as much, because it's a different type of slasher. It's an interesting type. It's one on its own level, in my opinion. Peace, and I love yous.